Hello vinyl community, it's Berkshire Mike. Today I'm jumping on a contest. It's his 100 subs contest. Although the last time I looked he was like a 200 and something, so he's well past that now. But it's a 100 subs contest and it ends on September the 19th. You will win some sort of monetary value. You won't be getting records or anything because of you doesn't know what you've got, and the cost of shipping and stuff. So I don't know exactly what you win. I suppose you work it out with them if you win the contest, and it's just going to be a simple name out of a hat, winner takes all. Not those stupid wheels and red means everybody's kicked off or whatever. All that rubbish. So it's quite simple. 3 rules. First rule is be nice to mommy. Third rule, no, not the Ramones. First rule, it has to be under 20 minutes. You have to make a video and it has to be under 20 minutes. Second, show a record that most of your fans will say, he's got that. I wouldn't expect that. So my little what the fuck moment, I suppose, is this guy, Robert Gordon, rockabilly legend, died in 2022, unfortunately, and he's excellent. Most people, I've never shown any rockabilly or rock and roll on my channel before, so probably most people won't know that I've even got a taste for rockabilly. But that came about because of the scooter rallies. There was always some rockabilly band on, and after a while you start thinking, well, this is actually quite good. And I mean the Meteors and King Kurt and everything, fantastic. But he's more straight-laced rockabilly, and he's excellent. Or he was excellent. This is probably his most well-known record, and check it out. You might like it. Rest in peace, Robert. You'll be missed by the rock and roll community, and me. Right, next rule. It's only 3. Explain why you have a passion for records and music. Well, the guy whose channel it is, middlelifecrisisrants, is went in right from his childhood all the way through to present day, why he likes stuff and why he collects stuff. My mother was quite cool, and she used to play things like the Velvet Underground and stuff, and Psych. So I've got a love for garage bands because she used to love them. My dad was a bit of a teddy boy, or wannabe teddy boy. He never had the whole mutton chops and everything, but that was the music he liked, and he could jive and stuff. And I thought his music was lame at the time. I quite like it now. I wish I had his record collection, but he hasn't got it anymore. But my mother was cool, so there was always music in the house. And of course, you know, like most kids, you'd listen to Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and that at school, and Queen even. There was Queen 1, Queen 2. But then this little tick bomb went off. Punk rock. So I was only young, but either were younger than me and they were in a band. So I went to every concert I could get to. I've seen nearly all the punk bands from especially first wave punk bands. And I haven't stopped going to concerts since, so I've seen all the second wave punk bands, third wave punk bands, fourth wave punk bands. I've seen just about every punk band known to man. Some of them are rubbish, some of them have been excellent. But the first band that caught my attention was Paul Weller's band, The Jam. This is probably the best album by The Jam. Sound effects, some great songs on it, but this was near the end of The Jam when he was starting to think about splitting them up. But for a while, The Jam ruled my world. Three-piece, Bruce Foxton, Rick Buckler, Paul Weller. They were great, they couldn't do any wrong. Seen them tons of times and they were great every single time. Like most young kids, they were wearing suits. I bought a suit. They were wearing Jam shoes. I bought a Jam shoes. So in my head I was a punk rocker wearing Jam suits. And eventually that phased into mod, and even though I went to see the mod bands, because all my friends were, and some of them were excellent, and I've got all the records, but I was never a mod, so I stopped going to mod. I stopped wearing the suits rather, so I was back in my leathers, bondage trousers, mohair jumpers and all that stuff. And I never had a mohawk, I just had spiky hair. And the band that I latched onto, I'd always liked them, but I latched onto these big style, Adam and the Ants. If Adam and the Ants' Decca Sessions album had came out, it would have been an immense debut album. I mean, we've all got it on bootlegs, and the songs are fantastic. Hardcore punk rock, brilliant. However, he got kicked off Decca, he shelved that, and by the time he brought out his first album, which was Dirk Wears White Socks, he'd moved on. And Dirk Wears White Socks, you can arguably say, isn't even punk, it's post-punk. It's a fantastic album, but it's not this guy anymore. He's gone beyond that. However, it didn't last long. I mean, Do It, he fell out with Do It, had a big fight with him, and he signed for CBS. Malcolm McLaren was hired for £1,000 to give him some advice. He wasn't the manager or anything, he just wanted advice off him. And he really respected Malcolm. So Malcolm took his £1,000, told him about the Burundi beat and how to, you should have put yourself on the cover, and not an arty cover, and you should do this and you should do that and you should do the other. All commercial things. However, secretly, Malcolm McLaren thought Adam was useless. He could sing, and he was pretty, but he was going nowhere. So what did he do? He stole his band. And he stuck a little 15-year-old girl as the lead singer of Bow Wow Wow. And that, I mean, I've seen Bow Wow Wow loads of times, don't get us wrong. They were great. But it left Adam limbo. 1980 was the last gig. New Year's Day was the last gig of the Adam and the Ants, real Adam and the Ants, before they all left or stolen away. Anyway, Adam went to see his old he wasn't his friend, he hardly knew the guy, but he'd seen him around the scene. He went to see Margot Peroni. And I love Margot Peroni, he's fantastic. But anyway, he got him and his fellow model, because they're one of the models, Terry Day, which his real name was Terry Lee Mal. He got them together and joined the band and decided they would have 2 drummers and do a more tribal sound. And at the time, Kings of the Wild Frontier, the single, came out, and it was great. It was like nothing you'd heard before, and it was still punk rock in my mind. Then Doggy Dog came out. The both tanked. They were like number 53 in the charts or something. But he was getting what he wanted, and he ended up on Top of the Pops because somebody fell out. Somebody didn't do it. So he was put on Top of the Pops and did Kings of the Wild Frontier. Then he was actually on tour at the time, and it literally went, I was following that tour, and it literally went from one day, say the Monday, it was full of leather-clad Mohawk punk rockers listening to punk rock band, to after Top of the Pops, it was full of 12-year-old girls screaming at him. To say it was a shock to us older punks was an understatement. I'd seen nothing like it. He went from being a punk rock cult hero to a superstar overnight. And it wouldn't have been so bad if he'd stayed in that vein. But when the album came out, half of it was good. The other half was filled, because he obviously had to cash in. CBS wanted to cash in on all his fame. It was filled with stuff about ant music. He'd been singing his own songs for 3-4 years, ant music for sex people. And all of a sudden, there were songs about ant music and Jolly Roger and stuff. So half the album's great, the other half's unlistenable to me. And of course, after that, fame and fortune, everything, and he did all that Prince Charming stuff. So I just dropped him like a stone, like most of the old hardcore punk followers did. I've seen him since, I've gone back to him, and I do love his stuff, and I've got like 500 bootlegs. So I've got all his old stuff that should have been on Decca, and stuff that wasn't ever on Decca. But nah, there you go. Adamant's dead. And the Adam and the Ants that everybody loves with a white thing and that, nah. Anyway, who'd you go and watch then? Your best band, your favourite band just imploded into pop star. These guys. Sex Gang Children. Andy Sex Gang. He would have never made it as a pop star. Fantastic. Hard to listen to. Screechy, screamy, in your face, punk rock, post-punk, goth. I don't know what it is. It's fantastic. And if you sing, hear the crack up, German Nun, Draconian Dream, Sebastian. Do a search for Sebastian. Sex Gang Children. And of course he's got solo stuff out, Andy Sex Gang. Excellent. I've got nearly all his works and he's fantastic. I've seen him loads of times live. These replaced Adam and the Ants in my book. But, you know, I'm not a one-trick pony. I haven't only got 5 albums in my collection, 5 artists in my collection. And the other one that I used to go and watch regularly, Theatre of Hate. Kirk Brandon, excellent. These had like a saxophone driven post-punk greatness. He had bleached, spiky hair, jug ears, handsome despite the jug ears, and okay, his sexuality's got nothing to do with me, but he's fantastic, and he keeps, and you know, he had like a side project of Spear Destiny, and I think it's a pack. You know, he just keeps doing it, and he's been doing it ever since. He's always on tour, he's always got albums out, and he's fantastic. If you've never heard Theatre of Hate and you've never heard of Spear of Destiny, do yourself a favour, get him. And at round about the same time, I got into industrial music, and of course from Gristle and all that, Cabaret Voltaire, all Coil, great stuff. But this band, Lie Back, stole me heart. I love Lie Back. They started from like real hardcore industrial music to now, I don't know really what it is, but it's hypnotic and it's great. They are excellent. And I've shown, if you go through me videos, you'll find a flip of all the stuff I've got. I've got tons of it. They are excellent. But these are, I mean, they're still going now, as are Theatre Hate, and you can still buy the records regularly. But these were back from the day. Most modern band that I've seen thousands of times, and I love them. Well, this band, British Sea Power. They've got their own little record label as well, Golden Chariot Records, and every time they bring out an album, they bring out all the demos and all the extras and live stuff as little CDs, limited editions, and you can buy them all. They do like mugs and that, which I used to have thousands of them and stuff, but they were taking up too much room and I sold them all. But they've got the best merch in the business, and they are excellent. However, they've just changed the name to Sea Power, and I don't know exactly why. I think it was because like foreigners weren't listening to them, because British Sea Power. So they've dropped the British bit and they're now Sea Power. Last few things have been Sea Power, but it's still the same band and they're still the same excellence. British Sea Power, seen them hundreds of times, and they are a great night out. And my wife hates them. I took her to the first few concerts and she said these are unlistenable, each to their own. So there you go. They're my bands that's seen me through since a child, really, when I used to go to punk concerts. I've been to every punk venue, every punk band nearly, and I still love it. I still love punk and I still love the bands I've just shown. I just wish Adam Yance had just stayed, got famous doing what they do, a bit like Barhouse, rather than changing to suit the fame and the fortune. But it's his choice, his music, and I still see him live, and he still does the old classics along with Prince Charming and all that rubbish. But I cannot knock Adam Yance because they've given me so much pleasure. So many concerts, so many bootlegs, so many songs. And it's coming up to 19 minutes now, so I'm going to call it a day. And thank you, Midlife Crisis, for doing this contest, and I hope you find this suitable. Thank you very much for watching, if you did.